John was working in his science lab, got blasted by gamma rays. Now he's Smash Trivia John, always smashing. He's friends with Ruffalo, crushing on Maslany, and also Sydney Sweeney. John's here saying, hello my gamma friends, welcome to the show, the Gamma Analysis Podcast.
Smash.
Hello, my Gamma friends. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Smash Trivia John. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram by searching Smash Trivia. I'll be the one with the big old green head in the profile picture. This is the Gamma Analysis. Basically, I'm going to review everything Hulk, all the movies, TV shows, and I also do random other geeky films. Hope you enjoy. Smash Trivia presents the Gamma Analysis. I want to ask everyone listening, please do sign for me. Please share the hell out of this podcast with all your friends. If you don't, Hulk will be angry. Now let's smash right into this episode. Today's episode is a review of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the live-action one from 1990. I'm doing this with Keith from the Abingers podcast. How you doing, Keith?
I'm doing good. I got a bit of a head cold, so my brain is soup, but I also watched it twice in the last 24 hours, so it's turtle soup, and I'm excited.
Nice. And then
that's a delicacy somewhere, I'm sure, right?
Then we have King from the Anyone's Comic Book Podcast. How you doing, King?
Wonderful.
Nice. And finally, last but not least, is Hector from the ReShoot Movie Podcast. How you doing, Hector?
I'm having a shell of a time. Thanks for having me here.
All right. Real quick before we start we get into the movie, I do want to go over a few announcements. So first, I do want to say this will probably be the last Gamma Analysis for a few weeks because I'm going to be moving across the country in just a week and a half. So I'm not going to be having time to record for a little while. So just nobody's wondering where my show went. And then also, just like I mentioned last week on the episode, I'm going to be doing a new podcast later this year called Creepy and Kooky, a Wednesday Addams podcast where I review the Wednesday TV show with my friend Lily. That's gonna be a lot of fun. But now let's get into this movie of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I love this movie. I think this film is one of the best live action adaptations of an animated thing there is.
Yeah, well, when was your first time seeing it?
I watched this many times as a kid.
Yeah, okay. I thought so. I thought you'd said that. That makes sense. With your obsession with green, I'd be sad if this didn't make it into your repertoire before.
When I was a kid, we had both the VHS for this and the VHS for the third one, and so I watched the shit out of both of those as a kid, and it wasn't until I started getting a lot of movies in the library that I realized oh wait, there's a second one in between these I should watch.
That's a good point.
Why does Donatello sound different?
Why did we own the first and the third one, but not the second one?
What's the nudity?
Yeah, all that nudity.
No pants. I'm just saying. Poor guys. They wore more clothes in the third movie than they've ever worn in their lives.
So fun fact. I'm from Oregon. They filmed the third one in Astoria. I've been to the area.
Nice.
They
I thought they filmed in ancient Japan.
Yes, they didn't film in ancient Japan.
Yeah, you mean that's not what?
I know.
I can't watch the movie again.
I know, right? I mean, it threw me off so hard. I've never even seen the third movie. I'm already way ahead of you guys.
The third movie is real good.
It is a fun
one is tops. I mean, no doubt in my mind. One is the top. Man, two though. The soundtrack. I'm also
Yeah.
like super old. And so, I think when the first one came out, I was 4. But I remember watching it at an early age because there was like this Pizza Hut commercial that popped up at the beginning. And it was about sports and baseball, which I was always kind of like, well, okay, cool. Like, so like if I get Pizza Hut, I can also play baseball. That didn't work. I don't play baseball. Um, but there was something about the nostalgia of that thing that was just like I'd hear that and I'm like, this is the movie right here. And then it'd get to the movie and I was like, no, this is the movie. That's just a commercial. But I just I have such warm memories of all 3 of these movies. I still have them on VHS. I can't watch them on VHS because I don't have a VCR. But yeah. I, I mean,
you've gotta conjure up or track down a VCR for sure.
yeah.
One hopefully with a tracking button, if you remember those.
Oh God.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Because it won't play well, I'm sure, without holding that down the entire
Yeah.
experience.
Mhm.
I am
Yep.
surprised VCR hasn't made a comeback like Record has. I'm just waiting for it.
Yeah. So I actually recently got a record player for my birthday, and it's a
Welcome to
six
the
in
club.
one.
Built-in VCR.
It's a 6-in-1. It's got a VCR in it. No, I'm kidding. It's got a CD player. It's Bluetooth. It's aux. It's
Does that
that's one of the
tapes?
6. It's got cassettes.
It plays
Uh,
Pandora radio.
Yeah, it's like, oh, stream that. Yeah, it's got like streaming, and I'm like, yeah, you can stream your records. I'm like, how does that work?
What do you mean? Yeah.
I don't know what that means. So it's cool. It's just, yeah, I'm surprised that VHS has not come back.
It's
mean-
funny with this movie, of the 3 of them, this is the only one I actually owned on VHS. The other ones my friends owned. So there were never a reason for me to really seek. I even worked at a video store and was allowed to take home VHSs because they were like, we're getting rid of these. So you should go ahead. But they never had it. So I looked at the other 2 movies as something special, more special than the first one as a kid because I just didn't have them. But I would just play this movie on repeat. And I think, looking back, exactly, this is the best one for sure.
Well,
they're all special.
the other thing that's interesting about this one, and if I'm going ahead, oops, but they like fought with their weapons in the first one, but they didn't do that in the second and third.
Wasn't that because like the parents got mad or something?
Yeah, they were trying to
Moms
make it
Against Violence.
wholesome. Yeah, for everyone.
Which,
I was like,
and even in this one, the one with the ones with who have actual blades as their weapons, they never hit.
no, you're exactly right.
At all.
Oh shit! I didn't even catch for that.
Yeah.
Right.
The director wanted to make this darker. I don't know if you, John, you might have this trivia already, but the director originally wanted to make this darker, and that scene where one of the Foot Clan gets beat up by, I think his name's Tetsu, or the second in command of the Foot Clan. He
That
was
bald
supposed to kill that guy, and they dialed it back because of the violence. They're like, oh, that's never going to pass the ratings board. That's absolutely, no, we can't do it. But that was the original direction. The director was like,
It
let's make this
probably
darker.
would have if they made it a PG-13 film, but they didn't want to do that.
Well,
But how
how many
have that in the
times?
same world as the jokes? Half the jokes in this movie are so.
Yeah, there's a lot in there that it's just like, or then like how many times Raphael was like, damn. You're like,
I mean,
right.
damn was a PG curse word.
But I was 6.
In
Like,
the
I'm
90s.
surprised I wasn't yelling damn all the time.
Yeah.
One of the catchphrases that they try out at the end is bitchin'.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the
It's
hell?
Raph again, man. Where's the bar of soap when you need it? My God, Raph.
He'd spit it on someone's face. Let's be real.
It's not lavender.
Oh, that was good.
That was really
You
good.
know my
That was-
brand.
That was really good.
One thing I did find about this film, I think is a cool bit of trivia, is that some of the henchmen and are played by some pretty famous actors, or at least they are now. The actors are famous now. Is one of them is played by Sam Rockwell,
Yes.
And
I did catch that.
He's
And-
the unmasked speaking. foot
Is he
guy.
credited?
I
Yes,
think-
it's
Now? Probably.
I
Now
think
he
he's
is.
Maybe not
just.
at the time.
I think he's credited as head thug or something.
yeah.
But-
If you're unmasked in a speaking
and
role,
the-
you have to be credited.
and the other
Okay.
is is Skeet Ulrich from who was one of the original ghost faces in Scream A franchise.
Is he in the first time
Wow.
April gets mugged at the beginning? I feel like that's where I
Not
see
sure.
that guy.
I'm
Maybe?
not sure where
That
all
signature
he
Steve
is,
hair.
but I know that both old Sam Rockwell and him are in the scene in near the end when Casey Jones gives them a talking to about family.
Quick question, sorry to interrupt. Are you guys hearing the screaming from upstairs or no?
I wish. No.
No, my neighbors are terrible, so I'm hearing it now. Just okay, good.
Yeah,
They
that's all right.
do this a lot. Okay, I'm not hearing anything.
Yeah, I'm not.
Okay, sorry
Just-
to interrupt.
Just say it's the '90s Turtles movie.
It's
Really
if
loud.
anything, it's more
Turtlemania.
Howard the Duck than anything. What it sounds like upstairs.
Oh man, and screaming is probably what your co-host did on the whole time when we were when he was watching Howard the Duck. Okay.
One of them probably yes.
Yeah. Oh man. I feel like this film though does have a very similar vibe though to the Howard the Duck movie.
They're grimy.
And that's and
Yeah.
not really like tonally, but also like the love interest in this, it feels very similar to Emily. Like,
Sure.
What do you mean?
Wait,
Wait, elaborate, please.
I mean, it's a woman who's animal like creatures
Animal
are attracted to, and is also has like a frizzy hairstyle that and I also just think that Beverly and April's personalities are pretty similar.
I was in the 90s had one woman that they used a lot. Like one type of woman they used a lot, and it was
Yeah.
those two.
Very true. But she ends up with the only non-turtle of the group, so that's
Yeah.
That's gotta
True.
And he's a
That's a little
gem, I'll tell you
applause.
what.
Oh
Listen.
man, what a nice
Major
guy.
gem. Yeah.
Oh, the actress though
Toots.
that plays April in this is I find it so interesting that she also is the mom in Halloween Town.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh shit.
That's
Wow.
right. And it's not until you just like that I heard that I was like, I recognize her. Not that I watch Halloween Town all the time. But yeah.
Something was
Not that,
familiar.
yeah.
She does a great job in this. I think. I
Mhm.
mean, who doesn't
yeah.
do well? I can think of 3 people that I don't like in this movie. But I mean, who do you guys not like in this movie? That's a good question. Who's the most annoying character?
Danny.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck Danny. I'm sorry, Danny's a
So
piece
easy.
of shit.
So easy. Yeah.
No, I don't mind like the assholes, but like he's just annoying.
And
like
the boss, April's boss, whatever the hell,
Charles.
Danny's dad. Oh my God.
It's probably just that entire family just sucks.
just in
The
that
chief-
just in that
The chief
bloodline.
of the chief of police is also.
Oh yeah,
The chief
that
of police
chief
is kind of a.
chief-
Oh God.
It's
God,
New
he's
York
so
at that
annoying.
Yeah.
rate, though. Every New York police chief's an asshole
Yeah.
in like movies.
Although I gotta say, the guy playing him yelling, "Are you trying to tell me how to do my job?" is so
Yeah.
ingrained in my brain. Like same as Raph yelling, "Frank!" Like when he's running down the street after Casey Jones, him screaming "freak" is so embedded in my brain because I've seen this movie.
I think so. There's a couple things about him. Well, one thing about him, and then another like point that while you were talking about running down the street, that chief though, he like so when I was younger, this sounds really fucking weird, but like when he's like like flipping through his papers and he's got like the file of like I guess Danny is one of them. I was like, I want to fucking fill out some paperwork. Is that weird?
You wanted to sit in his chair and just do the paperwork job?
I just wanted to do
Paperwork
the
part?
paperwork, nothing
The,
else.
the American dream bureaucracy.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah, I
already
just
in
wanted
it.
to, and also
You're
flip
like-
through files. I was like, "Psh, what
Yeah.
the? Yeah. Oh, yep. This is
You were
him.
working on your like stamp game. You're like, I got this
Yeah.
down.
Have you guys watched the show Severance?
Not
I-
yet.
yeah.
I don't have Apple TV.
okay.
Not yet. I will, but I have not.
It's basically within the show, the characters work at a place where it's like the most stereotypical office job ever, and that sounds like what you're asking for.
Oh my God, I need to watch it.
Your dream.
The other one that when they were running down when Casey was chasing him, and he kind of slides over the hood of the car,
Yeah.
and the guy's like, "What the hell was that?" or something, and the guy's like, "Oh, it's a turtle in a it's a turtle in a trench coat," and it's just like, "Yeah, this is New York."
Yeah.
He's
He's
not
like,
even
you going to
surprised.
LaGuardia, right?
Yeah, you're right.
The guy who says, "What the hell was that?" The guy in the back seat,
Yeah,
is the actor who plays both Raph in the suit when he's not doing karate, obviously, and the voice of Raph. He's the only actor of the four of them that did both the voice and would sit in the suit for most of the acting roles.
Wait, really?
They each have a little cameo, and he got like I think probably the only speaking line out of Mask. It's pretty cool.
my
Cool.
God,
He's like the
cool.
only one of them that's kind of a well-known actor, other than Corey Feldman being the voice.
Yeah, Corey Feldman. Yeah.
I thought they were all in the suit. Outside of the fighting scenes, I thought they were all in the suit.
I think they even used Corey Feldman in ADR only because there's promo stuff of the movie where Donatello is voiced by someone else entirely. So there probably is an actor in the suit, and then they replaced it all with Corey Feldman. Like a lot. Like I think they did that with the other three, honestly. Which I mean, that kind of sucks.
That disappoints me. I thought they were all in the suit.
I'm here to burst bubbles. I'm here to burst bubbles.
Hey, I still
What's
love
next? Santa's not real?
Whoa.
Well, I mean, let's
Okay,
face it.
I gotta go.
Quicksand. I have yet to find quicksand. So, I mean, let's face it.
It's
It
drier
might.
than you think.
Speaking of the suits, though, they really hold up well. It doesn't feel super fake. Fake. It feels like they actually are these characters. I love that about it.
Yeah, like the
I-
muscles, even, or
I was
like
trying to
they're not
pick
flappy.
apart
Uh,
the movement of the animatronic face masks. I was trying to pick apart and think of it like devil's advocate, kind of like, oh, who could make fun of this? And then I was sitting there going like, you know what? They even cut around a lot back, like showing the back of them when they're talking to the other one, so that you're not constantly seeing, how good can we make their mouths move? It's really smart the way that they edit it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, this was the Jim Henson Company, right? Who did those?
I think so.
Yeah, 90s are in their prime.
Yeah. He was disappointed in the amount of violence as well. He was a very pacifist man.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Jim Henson Company or Muppets in general, the actor who voices Splinter in this is also the voice of Elmo, which
You're
is
okay.
so
You're right.
wild.
What?
Kevin Clash.
Yeah.
The puppeteer of Elmo, the one who just cleared the sex allegations.
Yeah.
Sex abuse allegations.
Oh.
That took a while, right?
It did.
Man.
Yeah. Who knew that he could be such a wise old rat as well as Elmo?
Damn.
Sometimes when like the same voice actor plays two roles, I'm able to like tell really easily. But then this one, I was just like, yeah, no, they don't sound alike at all.
No.
Imagine Splinter's just sitting there. Something's different about Dad.
Oh man.
I got another question for you guys.
Ooh.
Who do you think Casey Jones bounces off, like chemistry wise, with best? April, Raph, or Donnie?
See, I'm getting it mixed up with like the 2004 show where it's easily Raph. So like,
I still hear me out. I still feel it in this. It's Raph
Yeah, I think
because
Raph.
there's some really really quick quips there. Is that what quip mean?
Yeah,
Quick
just
quip.
back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah, quick whips.
Well, it wouldn't be a quick quip. It'd be a quip.
I mean,
Yeah.
if it's
Yeah.
certain
I don't
Marvel
know what the
movies,
fuck
it's
the
quick
difference is.
quips.
Yeah, quick. But like there's like parts like, when Casey Jones beats him into a trash can, right? Which by the way, that's a pretty strong hit. And then
Stick with
like
the
they
sports
just
stuff.
they just make these jokes like about like the type of bat he used, like a Jose Canseco bat. Even Jose Canseco is a joke in the 90s. I mean, I'm pretty sure he played in the 90s, 80s and 90s. And but like things like that, but it was like just things like that. Like they had such maybe they hated each other kind of, but I feel like their quips that they had were just kind of like they just
Mhm.
were there,
I
you
mean,
know.
They
he
had
got to a
a
rocky start, but he immediately saves him when he sees him next. So he's like, I like this guy.
Game
In the
respects
So,
game.
I think their
yeah.
antagonist. I think their antagonistic relationship is what makes them so good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
In the comics, I'm sorry I'm bringing up comics, I'm kidding. But in the Turtles comics, I think Casey Jones is closest to God, who does he I have it behind me, but I didn't pull it out.
You talking Last
Um,
Ronin?
no, but it's a good one. It's a really dark and sad one. But anyways, um, I will tell you in 5 seconds. Oh, look at that. I found it. Um, it's like I was prepared. So Casey Jones and although it's kind of hard because none of them are masked at the beginning in this story. They didn't earn their masks.
Oh,
Um,
cool. I like that.
but like so in the comic, Casey Jones is constantly beat by his father. His father is a piece of shit. He's just not. And so um, I think it's either Donnie or Leo, and I don't want to waste too much time on this. Uh, Goes in and stops the dad from doing it, and then they become quick friends.
Wow.
And obviously that's comic versions, but I mean this comic is written by the creator of the Turtles, so
Mhm.
Yeah.
they would know.
Is this the
Um,
OG series?
this is not the comics that are based on the cartoon, but it's more similar to God, when did this come out actually?
Is
Because
this the current run, the IDW run that just ended or whatever it was?
so there is a new IDW run by Jason Aaron. This is the one by so this one actually came out 20 well, this is 2021, but I know the run did not start in 2021 because there's a lot of so it's Kevin Eastman is the writer.
Yeah, I don't think Eastman ever
No,
stopped.
yeah, no, until now. Now it's someone else. Now it's Jason Aaron who is doing a really good job. And my chair almost broke.
Oh, jeez. Careful,
Oh
man.
shit. It keeps
You're
what is
swiveling
that?
too hard.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay. What the fuck is
Stand
going on with my
perfectly,
chair?
King, stand perfectly still.
Your chair is telling you whether. Yeah.
It is, or it's like quit eating all those sandwiches. I don't know. Oh, what is going on? Oh,
Hector, which
okay.
one did you think they had the best relationship with Casey?
I think in the movie it's Raph. I think in general the favorite Casey relationship is probably Raph though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They're similar enough, but they're also different enough where you can keep the stories going with those two for a long time.
They're brawlers. They're hotheads.
Oh, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. What you, John?
I think Raph is definitely the person who's best.
I'm going to be the only one who disagrees. I love the alphabet insult game with Donnie when they're fixing the truck.
Oh yeah,
That was
That's
good.
so
That was
good.
really good.
I love that.
It's really the only part with the two of them, but it's to me, I love Donnie in general being different than a lot of other iterations of Donnie, because I think it was a lot to ask the audience to be like, oh, these are 4 mutant live action turtles that know karate, and also this guy can make jetpacks and he's a computer scientist. Like, they made Donnie smart in a different way. He's a lot more sarcastic. He's a lot more of a smart ass rather than just a gadget guy. So I like this Donnie more than probably most iterations of it. And the fact that him and Mikey are so like off to the side, like they're the children of the 4. It's like they're just like, oh, they're Leo and Raph are fighting again. Kitchen. Like,
that part, and then there's a part where they're Raph is pissed, like he's of course always pissed, but then Mikey's ordering a pizza. and Splinter is like having a serious conversation.
Yeah, Mikey's ordering right in the middle of this big speech from Splinter.
Yeah, it's a really cool speech that Splinter's got too.
I feel like Splinter's definitely punishing him later.
Yeah,
I think he's like, I feels like he gave up. Like, okay, you've heard this one before. They're ordering pizza. They'll learn.
Domino's pizza.
Domino's. It's sponsored by Domino's.
Yeah, they slide it down the sewer grate.
And then afterwards, he's like, we should have a moment in silence.
When they sing taps when they have the moldy pizza. Do you like penicillin on your pizza?
Yeah, you look penicillin. Yeah, that's so. Oh man, just so great.
Oh man,
I still can't believe they made Raph the emotional heart of the movie, and it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and yet I loved that they didn't spend, like, once he's unconscious from the Bigfoot battle, like you get to know the other ones, and you find like the first, like, April's apartment scene is the first time you see, not in the Shrouds of Darkness, you see the other turtles fight, and it's like otherwise it's just been Raph up until this point. So it's nice.
You're right.
To get that time with them eventually.
Also, when he gets his ass kicked on that roof, and then they throw him through the glass. Every time I watched that, I was like, can I be thrown through a glass window?
Weird.
Then I became a stunt man.
Can I be deficit-illustrated?
Yeah, come on. Can I lay in that bathtub?
That fight, there's so many action movies where like there's a fight in the middle of the movie that just can't be topped before the end, and that is the best fucking, the fact that there's levels to it, the fact that they go down even further, the fact that the music changes when the whole place goes into flames, like it gets serious all of a sudden. But there's like the piano part, the fish tank part, the Leonardo actually grabbing a hanging bicycle and then doing a bicycle kick was just it's a lot of fun. There's just so much fun to be had. The fellow chucker moments where they're just
and you're sitting there like, oh, okay, yeah, they're gonna do this, and they do it for a while, and you're like, okay, yeah.
Another moment that I really love is when the boss comes over to April's apartment, and the turtles have to hide.
Yes,
it's so much fun to see them try to get I to hide. But they do such a good job at it, which is like, on one hand, it makes sense with how long they've been hiding, but on the other hand, they're so big. How the hell are they being able to do this?
Under a table, first of all, and then Danny sees him. Of course, Danny, being an asshole that he is, freaking follows them to their hideout and then rats on them, but then is like, oh shit, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Piece of shit.
Danny is the worst.
But yeah, like in the they're hiding up in the shower, but you can clearly see the shell.
That's funny to me with the Danny is, he so he rats on where they live, but then he just starts going to live in where they live to hide away from Shredder, who he's told about that area.
Yeah.
Danny's not bright. He needs to go to school. He needs to quit skipping class to go to that fucking rated R Dave and Buster's that they have going on there.
Yeah, that place is wild. They got
cheese.
both types of cigarettes, kids smoking cigars.
Hey man, a roulette wheel next to kids blowing bubbles in their chocolate milk, next to Sam Rockwell offering you a whole carton of menthol.
Yeah,
like how
someone he's just throwing. Like this kid was just standing here. He's like throwing a carton of menthols. This kid's like, oh, like, okay, cool. Like,
Oh, no.
I didn't ask for
The
these.
most 90s thing in the entire
Yeah.
movie.
The only reason I knew at 4 years old what a menthol was. I didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah, they're better for you.
One thing
Oh.
that is
I can't.
one thing that's a very small moment, but I think is a really great one, is at the end when Splinter ends up being the person who comes up with Cowabunga,
Cowabunga.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then he's like, "I made a funny."
It's so good.
I love that.
That is so good.
Oh man. Oh, something I was thinking about when watching this week is, you know, we don't get often in these days anymore any kind of film where they have these practical suits and and animatronics outside of like horror films like Five Nights at Freddy's. Is it? I kind of miss this sort of feel of things. Um.
Oh, I can tell you why.
Well, obviously, it's obviously the reason they don't do that anymore is because CGI exists now.
Do you know why they do it with CGI, right?
Oh, because it's cheaper.
There's no union, so you can just have a certain rate and just keep them
Yeah, but
working.
Sure.
what I was going to ask is, would you guys want like a legacy sequel to this '90s eyes TMNT with the same actors, same practical suits?
So
I think that would be a lot of fun to see.
so we're getting a Last Ronin movie, rated R.
Yes. Yes.
And my theory is that it's going to be a live action. Now that we're getting live action coming back and like practical effects again, mark my words, they're going to have the Last Ronin. I don't want to spoil it if you haven't read it. They're going to have him be with the suit. It's going to pander to the older audience. You might as well go all the way with it.
Yeah. I would almost prefer that, something different to show off practical effects now and go revisit the Turtles in that respect rather than a continuation. John, you know my appeal, my feelings on 30-year-old sequels, man. They
yes, I understand
for me.
how you feel
I
about
can't have that happen. I can't.
I would be
they'll never
scared.
get it bang on.
Yeah, I would be scared for that because this movie to me, this means so much to me. This is probably one of my all-time favorite movies. Like, no joke. Like, I've always like Star Wars, things like that. But Turtles, this Turtles movie,
it.
the three of them, first of all, but this one specifically, I would hate to have like any kind of 30-year sequel because I just feel like it would have to be spot on. It would have there couldn't be any flaw. It'd have to have the
I
tones.
just
But the
yeah.
90s were different. Like
It-
the
I just want to
atmosphere,
see this version of the Turtles again,
Yeah.
and because I just
same.
love them so
I get
much,
you.
and
Yeah.
and I would and if it were to if they were somehow able to make it be a perfect like tonally and all that stuff up, I think there is some cool stuff they could do with doing something like that. I know I'm probably in the minority of feeling that, but I think it would just be it could be a lot of fun to just see these versions of the Turtles again, and after all these years.
If I'm right, it's through the Last Ronin, John. It's a monkey paw wish you just made. No comment.
I'm gonna be honest. Like I'm not super excited for this last one, just because like I don't love the idea of the turtles going dark and dark. I'd rather them just stay a goofy
Somewhere in the middle,
and
I like.
but I rather just the feel of this '90s film.
There's some parts of it though, that story still has the Last Ronin still has the feel of classic. Like it does. And so I'm hoping they hold on to that in the movie. And then there's also gonna be a video game, don't forget that. But
Oh
I think
yeah.
it's gonna be really, really awesome. Yeah, that story, yeah, and I see what you're saying, John, because the story itself, if you haven't read it, if you don't know much about it, it's dark. It is.
Hmm.
It's like, oh crap,
I
like
think
I can't believe this.
It was intended to be like a potential ending for
Yeah.
the series whenever anyone wants to finish it.
Yep.
So
It's-
then they made a sequel, and I've never read it because that just felt like they're capitalizing.
I haven't either. And then they did like the Lost Years too. Like so they had the Lost Years and then they have
Mhm.
The Last
whatever the
Ronin.
other yeah, the Last Ronin,
I think
whatever.
I'm just
Two.
as a kind of
Re-Evolution or
person
something.
where I'm kind of tired of studios trying to make superheroes be darker and more realistic and grounded. I'm just like, just give me that classic superhero feel.
Okay. Yeah.
I respect that. I feel like there's a time and a place. Like you can certain stories lighter, certain stories will do better. Like you know,
I think it's just because like there's just been a lot of these of the studios trying to do that in recent years, and I'm just like, I'm kind of
well,
tired of that. I'd rather just the classic feel.
you can say
the
Zack
best
Snyder. It's
example.
fine.
Yeah,
Zack
the best
Snyder,
example. Hot off the heels of Christopher
the
Nolan, which
Batman.
Batman makes sense to make dark, right? That's the
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
from the DC
Literally.
comics that
Yeah.
makes sense to make dark, and then you try to copy that with Superman, and it's like, I don't know that
Mhm.
you did good the first time for sure, but it just maybe a little bit more levity. Like
I
they
have
don't
hope
all
for
need to
guns.
exist in a universe that's exactly the same tone. And it sounds like
Yeah.
Gunn has the idea of keeping things a
Oh.
little bit more separated and fractured, and
Yes.
that's smart.
Yeah,
'Cause
he's
they're
doing
really
it. I
different
think he's doing it
stories.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Did any scenes in this movie? I'm gonna full mask off, full transparency. I cried watching this last night. Two scenes. One, when Raph is at Splinter's side when he first comes back, and Splinter's like telling him he's tried to like fix his anger, and like he just keeps getting so wrapped up in it still, and he's like petting his like little dewy turtle head, and then the other scene where they're all around the campfire
Yes.
communicating with him.
Mhm.
I'm a 38-year-old man, and some
Yep.
four dudes in robotic faces and puppets at a campfire made me well up because that shit felt so earned in the
Mhm.
moment.
Also, did you notice the one turtle that you really see actual tears come from is actually Michelangelo?
Yes.
And that's
Yes.
what's crazy.
The baby.
Because yeah, the baby
Yeah,
and the
the
one that
clown.
doesn't take shit seriously. Yeah, he's ordering pizza. But he's the only one you really see tears coming down. And it's like
And Raph's like holding Leo's hand.
Yeah.
He's like
Yeah,
Yeah.
that part really struck me. Like, oh wow,
Yeah.
I've never seen anything where Raph is that. This is the first time I ever saw the movie. I've never seen any of these before.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And this is like the first time I'm like, wow, I've never seen Raph go that like gentle and like
mhm.
in his emotions before. Damn.
Yeah.
Wish we got more of that.
1990. It's
Yeah.
like that's the thing people need to make their characters do today, and it's
I
bizarre.
partially feel like this is why I see a therapist is this movie. But like I think that like but it's also like it's also why I'm in tuned with my emotions.
I mean, yeah, a lot of
Oh,
guys don't
go,
show their
go.
emotions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
90
again,
showed us, yeah,
you're-
that's fine.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
to be honest, it doesn't really surprise me that that Mikey is the one of the turtles who is willing to cry and show his emotions. I feel like he is like the more a more open turtle about how he feels.
Yeah.
That's a good point. And it's something when you were saying that, it kind of brings up like I think I've always resonated with Mikey. Like I think he's always the one that because like I'm rarely serious and but then also I also struggle with a lot of like stuff deep inside that like I could be masking the things that I deal with by making those jokes and maybe that's how Mikey is. And I feel like I've always had that same kind of thing, right? Like I may say some stuff that someone may think is funny, but I'm sitting there like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened,
Yeah.
And so like it's just sometimes that's what it is. It's it's like the Robin Williams effect, right? Like one of the funniest dudes, but he struggled with the most things.
Yeah.
Put up a clown wall.
And so maybe
Can't get me.
maybe
Thing is, as well, like I kind of like goes into an idea I have that I think people who are more willing to let their child side out are much more emotionally healthy people than people who don't. And like think about difference between people who as adults are willing to who still watch cartoons and people who are like, oh, that's for children. I'm not gonna watch that.
Yeah. I mean, if
Yep.
you think you need to be like, there's certain things. Yes, unfortunately, the world that we live in, you need to be responsible and adult-like in many ways. But to trick yourself into thinking you need to cast aside all child things in order to achieve that is the problem, and that is the illusion that is put out there. Like, grow up, and that's many of our parents talking, I'm sure.
Yep.
In that, but yeah, it is good to keep just one foot in the what made you and where you came from, and your the things you were passionate about, because it brings that same childlike wonder and passion and imagination to your adult life. That's great.
For sure.
I mean, the more open, I'm going to school to be a therapist. The more open you are about aspects of your life, especially like good and the bad, especially as a kid, the more open you are to that, the more you're willing to heal and move forward. And just
Sure.
Yes.
certain level of openness is honestly the healthiest thing to do.
Yeah. It's like, rather than put up a wall, keep some porosity, like make it so that you're still able to like think of that time and be in that room instead of just walling it up and blocking it off.
I just couldn't imagine not having that childlike feeling. Like, even like, and maybe some people would be like, okay, well, you're dumb. You're just not smart enough to turn that off. And I'm like, but no, I want that. Like, it's
who wants to turn it off? What's wrong? You're
who the hell turn that shit on further, right? Yeah. Double fingers, right?
Yeah.
I got another question for you guys. Did any one of you have trouble understanding Raphael's accent saying certain things?
I watch movies with closed captions, so no.
Oh,
so you knew everything that was being said.
The way I was watching it, I was not able to turn on closed captions. So that sucks.
I guess I didn't. I was like, okay, he's the only one that sounds like he's from New York. He's the only one that sounds like he's from Brooklyn.
There was only one line that I couldn't make out until last night's viewing of it, as a having not seen it in so long, and I was like, oh, that's what it's when he's there. And it's just an amazing setup to have to begin with, is them sitting around waiting for the plan to get Splinter. They're just playing Trivial Pursuit. And he just says, what Russian novel embracing more than 500 characters is set in the Napoleonic War? And I was like, I never knew what the fuck he was saying as a kid. And now I understand he was saying, what Russian novel? Not what Russian novel. I'm glad.
I love that so much.
Subtitles would have fucking helped last night, is what I'm saying.
Although I thought I was watching it again. I thought you
yeah, you got it right on.
That was spot on, dude.
I've heard it too many times.
I love when there's the scene where they first go to April's apartment. One just like right when they get out of the sewer, they're like, did you say pizza?
Oh yeah.
but then like when we get to hear Mikey doing different impressions for movies, I love that.
It felt the art. It was funny. It also feels like, man, if you get younger to watch it, it's the most dated. I didn't.
Oh yeah.
I didn't realize who like half the people were. Like, I saw the Rocky ones. I'm like, who are these?
That's the most famous one, is Rocky. But Cagney from Cagney and Late. Cagney is such an old actor. And then also there's a joke later where Casey Jones and April Neil are arguing, and they slam their doors, and Donatello just goes, "It's like moonlighting." And that's a Bruce Willis TV show from like 5 years even earlier than that. I was like, what the fuck is that reference for a kid's movie, kind of?
Yeah. What did I think I was watching back in the day? Like, I'm sitting there like watching this Turtles movie, and I'm like, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. Like, what?
It's like The Nanny, if you've ever seen it. I used to see so many reruns of it, and I'm like, I'd only laugh at half the jokes. The rest I'm like, what is, I'm so fucking lost.
Yeah, there's some that you're like, the fuck are they saying? Like, what does that mean?
With Mikey like doing those impressions, though, I'm like, I don't get all of the impressions, but but I just love the idea that he is a movie fan.
Oh yeah,
I
he's
think
a
that's
teenager.
such a so much fun. On
What
like
else? Yeah. What else do they
Mikey's
do in the
always
sewer,
been
right?
and Mikey's always been my favorite. It just does. I love his of his childhood personality
Yep.
and his and him being the fanboy and all that. Is so much like I am. I'm this fanboy of so much and like yeah.
He definitely gets some of the best one-liners too in this.
Oh, yeah.
Donatello definitely has some funny ones, and like even Raph says some funny shit
Oh,
sometimes.
yeah.
But it's like the fact that wise men say forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza. Like that's
Oh yeah.
and him watching the rabbit, the tortoise versus and the hare, and he says, "Ninja kick the damn rabbit." Like
Well,
he's got some
also,
great ones.
do you think about something that stuck out to me was like Domino's had like if it was late, they got it. What was it, like it was free or something? I'm like,
30
It was
minutes
like-
or it's free, I think. Yeah.
my ass. That doesn't happen.
Yeah, they lost a lot of money in those days.
Yeah. I mean, they changed their pizza, and I mean, it's stuffed crust pizza, and I haven't eaten dinner. Sorry.
Terrible. Oh man.
And you say Mikey, so I was all in on the Turtles, right? When I was younger, I had all the action figures. I say all of them, not all of them, because there were some that my parents just didn't love me enough to get me. Just kidding. I'm kidding. They love me fine.
Send this to your parents.
Yeah. Hey, let me call them really quick and tell them what the root of my issues are. But like I had like the sewer, like the really cool sewer and things like that. My mom actually used to sew Halloween costumes. So I was that dork that had a Turtles costume, but it
Nice.
was like it was year after year after year after year. I was probably like 15 and still wearing that costume. Don't know how I fit in it, but so like
For an
I was
8-year-old.
all in it. It was Mikey, by the way.
Now, does that costume still exist?
I wish
Wow.
I would have brought that to my house. I would have
people
had
would
that.
pay
You would have worn it for
money
today's
you to,
episode.
to wear.
I would have worn it. Yeah.
You just be coming in like, hey guys, yeah, it still fits like a glove.
My voice would just be like, yeah, guys.
You see-
Yeah, I'm just tipping over. But yeah, I was all in. So like, but of course Mikey was my dude. Like,
Oh,
yeah.
that was the costume, that I had. And I so wish, now that you said that, I wish I had that costume just to have it
Oh.
hanging up somewhere.
Yeah.
I was a Mikey fan growing up. I feel like as I've gotten older though, I'm like, nah, I like Raph more. Maybe it's like I
Yeah.
get pissed off and I'm like, no, it's
Yeah.
relatable. Having to control
I'm
that.
angry now.
Yeah.
He had it right. He had it right with the anger. Damn it. Damn. How many times did I say damn?
You
Because
just
of
started
that
practicing
movie.
a Brooklyn accent.
Yeah, exactly.
Raph's got some good lines too. When they smuggle those turtles back into the city, and he's like, "Now I know what it's like to travel without a green card." It's like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
I was like, what the fuck?
I love when they all start making fun of Casey for being claustrophobic.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
then-
that's why my favorite thing about this version of Donatello is he will throw out the big words, and he'll know that the other turtles don't know, but he's just having a good time fucking with
But
Casey.
then, did you notice Casey? Something that was really kind of weird that
Yeah.
I didn't realize. He's like something about sleeping with other dudes or something.
He says,
Yeah,
he says,
that
I'm
was
like-
he says, I never
a
even
really
looked at
weird
another man.
part.
I've
Wait,
never
what
even looked at
line?
another man.
Yeah, he said I never
Donatello
looked at another
calls him-
man, which
Yeah.
I was so weird because like
He's
yeah, I'm
very-
guessing he was he thought that he called him homophobic.
Yeah.
But if
then also,
that
that's
was
not
but
what-
if he but
which he
he
is
defended himself by being homophobic.
though. Yeah. You want a fist
Yeah.
in the mouth? A fist where? I never even looked at another man. I love
Yeah,
it.
that was
I
the
felt
part
that
that
too. So
got
good.
me, that I was like, ooh, that's a bit irky. Like,
What about when he
Yeah,
slams April down to give her a shoulder
Yes.
massage? I was like, whoa,
Boom.
dude.
Oh yeah,
Calm
Well,
down.
and then April's like, oh,
She's like,
I
oh,
like,
think-
and you're like,
that's how I
oh,
like my men.
what am I watching?
Yeah, Casey definitely has some problematic traits to him.
Yeah.
He's from
You know,
90s Brooklyn, man.
I,
He used to be a
I
hockey.
don't-
Apparently, he used
I
to be a
think-
pro hockey player or something. They said
You know,
at some point in the movie.
Right, yeah.
it probably would have caused this film to have the same backlash as Howard the Duck, but I think that it would be better if April ended up with one of the turtles instead of him.
I always hate whenever they make
shit.
I always hate when
he
it's
said.
April and the turtle. It's always so weird to me. I'm
Well,
sorry.
No,
Yeah,
I just
same.
say
2012
I
did
don't
it.
like that.
Not a fan.
I don't think that it's understandable. I would just say that I don't think she should have ended up with him with
Yeah.
Casey.
Yeah.
The
They
way
try to
that he
save it a
talked
bit.
to her, or the way he forced her down.
But she was a strong, like, she was a, like, no, I'll fix this truck myself. Like, she was doing that kind of shit where he's like toots and like calling her like these super like
Yeah, it's like
cringy names.
But,
You're
like,
like,
they
she's gonna
keep-
kick your ass,
You know-
dude.
They saved it in a way by making him the doofus in a lot of those
Yeah.
interactions, by like him breaking the swing on the front porch, or like him like. And like he like needs, like at the end he's insecure enough that he needs her to acknowledge that his face is beat up at the end, and
Yeah.
she's just like, just fucking kiss me. you
Yeah, just
moron."
fucking
I don't
kiss
think she
me.
said
Shut
that.
up.
Oh,
but-
I
Yeah,
don't,
I
I don't
would.
need
Just
an
fucking
ambulance. I don't need an
Yeah.
ambulance.
It's like teasing him for his bravado. It's like, they're gonna be okay.
Yeah, I would say in this movie, like, some of the shit he says, and I'm a big Casey Jones fan. It's just someone I also gravitate towards. Not that that's my kind of character, but
You're sexist. It's fine. You can just admit
yeah,
it.
that's what it is.
Dudes.
I don't go anywhere without calling women toots, and you know.
No joke. I think I called as a joke. I tried to call I had the day off and I watched this film, and then I went out, and then like my wife was we were just walking, and or no, she was just making dinner or something, and then I'm like, how are you doing? How you doing, princess? And she just looks at me like, what
princess.
the fuck?
Princess was the one that I was like,
He's like, what? Why? And I'm like, the movie. Like, I watched the movie. He's like, oh, okay, just
Yeah. Oh, that's what's wrong with you.
yeah. Like it's just no. She's used to this.
I'm gonna try that out on my wife too. I think.
did you?
And you
Say
picked
good
the
words.
least
I'll say good words at your
horrible one.
funeral, stranger.
My wife would not be like, oh yeah, cool. If she said that, she'd be like, what the fuck's wrong with you? That's what she would say to me. But there was a part when they're the massage that just I thought about, when he like slams her down, which again, that's an aggressive massage.
Came out of
But
nowhere.
she's like, one of the turtles comes in and she's like, you want some ointment for you? Because he's like going like cut from all the training, the super, and then he goes, nope, and he pulls out turtle wax.
Yeah.
I got this.
Genius.
It's the smartest thing ever.
It's so they can throw in the corny stuff so much
Yeah.
so well that it's totally fits, because you know what you're watching, you know what you're in for. These are turtles. These are not.
Did you-
There's nothing that dark about it.
So how well did you know this movie? Like, Keith, how well did you know it from when you had watched it years? I'm asking only anyone else can jump in, but I'm curious because there were parts that I was watching this that I had watched it so much that it had to have been at least 20 something years, or well, no, it was probably sooner than that. I showed it to my son, but I think certain things, I still remember things from when I was younger about like certain lines that came up, like the turtle wax part. I remember that.
Yeah.
Like, did you remember things like that?
Oh yeah.
Or
Yeah,
is it
it's
just
ingrained
like-
in there?
Yeah.
It's like
There's
even
something
just
about
like
those.
Donatello like at the farm like humming Old MacDonald and then like
Yeah.
looking back because he thinks he stepped in some animal shit. Like I remembered that as I'm writing my notes, I'm looking up, I'm going, oh, this part, I gotta watch this part. I remember this part. It's
The
embedded
Casey
in there.
Jones,
I could recite
Casey
it.
Jones breaking the swing, eating. I remember him eating an apple or a pear or something, and he breaks the swing. And I remember that. I was like, oh, I was telling my son, I was like, he's gonna break the swing, and he's like, what? And I'm like, oh yeah. And then those pictures that April
and your son's like,
draws. Yeah. What? How did you know that? The pictures she draws. I remember how beautiful the pictures are. I'm like, she's not fucking drawing those. Get out of here. I believe Keith is, but not April O'Neil.
Thank you. You're too kind. I never could master pencil crayons.
Yeah, no, me either.
The one line in the film that I really like remembered from my childhood that I was looking out for or with it when you're watching it was when Splinter says, "I made a funny."
Yeah,
that I remember that.
Well,
though for some reason in my my memory of it was different from what actually happened. As like I seem to remember it like either be that scene either taking place in their sewer home or in the subway station. But it's
sequel.
Okay.
He goes because he goes.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Yeah, I think he said I made another funny in the second.
Because I was a little
Beat
confused
that dead horse.
Yeah.
Oh, I was a little confused while I was watching. I was like,
"Did they do in the third one?"
Doesn't seem like where they were when he said that.
I don't
like 3 funnies hat trick.
Yeah.
Comedy comes in threes.
Swooshes. They're like, we don't have a basketball.
I also, for some reason, I have a recollection, and I clearly was wrong, but I remember, unless it's just the beginning of 2, and I watched them all so many times, but I, for some reason, remember Shredder pulling like his hand shooting up, but I think that might actually be in the beginning of number 2. And I was like,
makes it out of that compound.
I was like, oh, there's a post-credit scene, right? And I'm like, no, this is the fucking 90s.
Wait,
this is Marvel.
There's a Vanilla Ice rap.
wait,
Whoops,
Shredder
I just spoiled this 30-year-old movie.
No, it's fine. I was just like, I looked at the letterbox for the second one. It's like different people, so I'm like, as the villain, so I'm like, oh, okay, so they really did kill off the main villain.
I don't know if the third one has him though. I can't remember.
No,
but if you like Vanilla Ice, watch the second one.
I'll pass. You just threw me off it with that one. Like, no.
The ninja rap is like the best 90s parachute pant wearing song.
Can I be honest? My one big flaw with the film was like I was watching and it's like the Shredder fight. I'm like, all right, we've been hyping this up for a while. That was the worst fucking final fight.
Yeah.
And then they see Splinter, and I'm like, okay, let's see what cool things are gonna. What do you mean he just did one nunchuck move to flip him? I'm sorry. Like I'm like we live in that was post Howard the Duck. You can make Splinter do shit.
Well, yeah.
Like, forgive me for being sacrilegious here. This is again, I just saw this for the first time, but like that Splinter bit, I went out to complain to Ruthie about. She's trying to work, and I'm just being the asshole, being like, no, I'm gonna stop you from work. This is important. The rat only did one move to stop the man with all the knives. This is disappointing, Ruthie.
It was really him just moving away too. But like the thing about Splinter, and the thing that always follows him for the most part, is that he is like the teacher, the peaceful one, the one that knows the tricks to not actually lay a finger on anyone. And I think that's kind of that part. But I agree. And the Turtles are getting their asses kicked on that rooftop.
Exactly.
Like, the entire time.
Slow-mo.
Yeah. And they keep going, ooh! And they're like getting thrown, and you're like, damn, he's just barely moving his fingers.
Why are you guys attacking one at a time? Just jump the dude. It's New York. Just jump the dude.
He even says that, though.
It makes sense.
He says that.
It makes sense for Raph at the beginning because he's a hothead. He's obviously gonna try going by himself, but the rest of them just the same. It's just
no, I 100% know what you mean.
Shredder,
the disappointment of that fight with Shredder, like there's the it's only something that you can forgive after watching it several fucking times. But it's like,
Well,
it's the
Shredder
first
did
thing that
say
as a
that,
kid, I'm
though.
sure I was like, that was weirdly short.
Yeah, it's
He
cool.
must be
I
in the
remember the
sequel.
line where Shredder said it, but I'm like, that's just them excusing it with
Yeah.
the script. Like
He's
it's
like,
oh,
you could have just all attacked me, but you
Yeah,
didn't.
yeah.
You're just gonna let one, and now you're failing, and it's like, all right, yeah,
And the way I ended up justifying it this time was, you see, so Leo is very young. Leo, he's supposed to be the one closest to Shredder's ability, or not Shredder, Splinter's ability to keep calm, and the full understanding of ninjutsu. That's Leo's thing, right? So, but to see him get goaded and like baited into aggressively charging, and that's what gets the blade up against his neck. And then Splinter does the exact same thing to Shredder with bringing up the fact that I remember you killing my master and I gave you those scars. And I mean, scars weren't that bad, but I mean, then maybe he
not
lost
to cover it up.
every villain's very like scared, like very like, oh, self-conscious of their face. It's a thing. Dr. Doom, same.
Also, it was a little rat that scratched his face. Like,
but that
it
rat
wasn't
had been
like
practicing.
some giant.
Why didn't he kill the rat? That doesn't make
I
sense.
think he
just left
sliced
him
his
there.
ear and
he sliced his ear, but I think he was like, well, that's gonna kill him. No, it's just his ear. He's one
of those villains who's against hurting animals until they're mutated.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like, that's as far as I'll go. You scratched me. It's just
2 legs, 2 fists. I'm ready. Like,
one thing that I thought was funny, but I don't know if actually it makes a lot of sense with that final fight scene. After Shredder falls, Casey Jones turns on a machine to crush him. Are they in a junkyard?
no, it was just a
it's
trash
a garbage
compactor.
truck.
I think it was just picking up some stuff.
Yeah.
Trash.
Casey's like, ooh, look at this trash truck.
Yeah, it's one of those things
Very
that kind of like sneak
convenient
in
that
there.
happened to be there at that moment.
Well, it's funny. You can see some things where it's like, okay, well, why does Casey have to not sleep in the sewer? He has to go up to the truck to sleep. Oh, it's so that he can see Danny and follow.
Yeah.
Okay, why does he need to go move this truck and back it up into this ladder? Oh, it's so that Shredder can land in it and he can pull the thing. It's like all these little like. It's a very efficient script, and it sneaks these foreshadowings in.
Yep.
I mean, wasn't he also being Lookout? That makes sense. He would try to be all like, I don't know. He's protective.
So, Hector, if you were to do this movie on your podcast, I'm guessing that that final fight would be the big thing you try to fix.
Yes, no, 100%. I was so disappointed. I love I grew up watching a lot of the cartoons, so I'm like, oh yeah, the Splinter versus Shredder fights are always like the peak, like the closest thing to peak in the show, or the whole show's peak, but like it's like one of the higher parts of the show. It's so cool. Yeah. And then I'm like, let's see what they can do with puppets. Like Post Howard the Duck. Yeah. I'm primed. I'm ready. Oh no,
they got it right this time.
Yeah, because I think in every show, every iteration, he teaches them all the stuff. So it's like, of course, he'd use the moves sufficiently, and then okay.
Yeah.
I had a nitpick about it. I've always had this nitpick since the first time watching it. When they have that very menacing introduction to Shredder and his buddy is like unveiling his shoulder blades, no pun intended, the tarp cape that he's wearing looks like shit. That cape to me, for some reason, I looked at it, I was like, did they get that at Spirit Halloween? What the fuck am I looking at? It's
that purple chainmail too, like the purple chainmail. like it's got sparkles on it. I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, sequins. I don't think he'd be wearing that, but that's fine.
These kids said it was hip. I'm putting it on.
These kids know they smoke menthols.
Yeah, they smoke menthols and they're wearing tie-dye shirts and headbands that I gave them.
They said this makes me relatable.
Yeah. They started calling me Daddy Shredder, and I was like...
I think we've talked about this film very well. So I'm ending this off. But real quick before I do, I'm gonna go through each one of you and have each one of you explain your podcast. Ask us to get to promote it a little bit. All right, first is King. explain in anyone's comic book podcast.
Comic books. It's we do comic books, old, new. We do sometimes we'll do some that like come out like we kind of cover them before a movie, or like the coming month we're doing Pride month, so we're gonna have four books that have to do with that. We're gonna be we just kind of it's not what this is going to sound dumb, but it's not what the listeners necessarily want. It's what we love. And so we're hoping by saying what we love and showing what we love and doing the stories that we love, that listeners will be like, oh, cool. My favorite host is King. Because I mean, obviously, um, and Bub is so fucking knowledgeable about comics. He is one of the and also he's one of the greatest people. Don't tell him I said that. He should listen to this anyways. But no, so we basically were, we've done it. We just celebrated our 1 year last month.
Oh, congrats.
Thank you.
Awesome.
It's been the most amazing ride. It's just it's just a fun podcast. It's just started out as just the two of us. Well, it started out as him and then I inserted myself in it. And it's just two dorks talking about comics. Like it's the best thing. So yeah.
Nice.
And I know
nice. Everyone.
Keith is going to be on it coming up this week.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. So everyone, please check out the Anyone's Comic Book podcast.
Yes.
Next up, Hector. Want to tell everybody about the ReShoot movie podcast?
Yes, ReShoot, an amateur's guide to gooder film. You ever seen a movie and you're like, why did they do like me? Why didn't Splinter do shit? Why in that one final fight? Why didn't or like, man, the lighting was weird, or like why did they act like this? Like, I think a little more like music here or whatever. Like, you watch them and you're like, why? Well, we take that and we make the movies objectively better by reshooting them objectively. Uh, and it's just a lot of fun. We've been doing it on and off for years. We are about to hit our 5th year in like a few months.
Right on.
Close to like
Nice.
October.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Nice.
Life's been busy, so it's a bit in the back foot, I'll be honest. So if you listen, but we have so much new movies, different types. One of our hosts is very highbrow, loves like the A24 horror shit, loves freaking me the fuck out by picking horror movies. I'm in the middle, foreign films, and my wife's like just really cool with like a bunch of other fun films. We're like, hey, this one looks kind of fun, and then we just all get surprised. So yeah, you got a lot of variety if you want to listen.
Oh yeah. Everyone, please check out the ReShoot movie podcast. And finally, Keith, tell us about the Avengers.
Well, the Abingers is an absolute train wreck, and I think you might enjoy it. I've been on it only for the last year and a half, and I fall more in love with those other two every time I record with them, Brandon and Emmy. And sometimes Clinton comes back, and we talk about mostly Marvel, but we are expanding. And I think with James Gunn's Superman on the way, I think we've got to expand, right? And as we said, I will also be on Bub and King's podcast, Anyone's Comic Book podcast, doing the Department of Truth.
Oh yeah,
conspiracy theories, and
it's
I'm very
a
excited.
solid book.
Oh,
Nice.
Yes,
I'll have to get on and listen.
it's James Tynan is the writer, and he is one of the best writers today in today's comic. Like he used to do some Batman stuff. Now he's
Nice.
got his
That
independent
tracks.
like creator owned stuff, and he's just
I love
he gets away
creator-owned.
with it. Yeah, he gets away with so much, and he's got his own like he's like a horror writer, but he's just a smart writer. Like he just
Is it
released one about serial killers, and in the back of the book there is actually, it's called Exquisite Corpses. And so it's gonna follow these serial killers, and there is in the back of the book there's a bracket where they write like you get to pick who's gonna survive. And like I'm like, it's the smartest shit ever. Like it's great, but he just real world stuff, and um highly
That's
recommend him.
fun.
But it's Bub's favorite. So just if you he's knowledgeable about comics, he would not steer you wrong with this. So
Oh, yeah.
Department of
Pressure's
Truth's
on.
wild.
Bub's favorite.
Yeah.
Everyone, please check out the Abingers podcast. And also all three of these podcasts. As I've had guest appearances on them, and I did DC Universe Legacies, I believe, on anybody's comic book
Yep.
podcast. As I did Howard the Duck on ReShoot. It might be their most unhinged show that they've done.
It's definitely up there. It's probably the most unhinged where it doesn't end with me and Ed fighting, because there's been a few.
And I did some MCU trivia on the Avengers a few years ago. Yeah. Hope you guys all enjoyed listening to this, and thank you to all of you for joining me for this episode. I really appreciate it. If you like this game analysis, please give a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or a 5-star rating on Spotify. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the episodes. Please let me know. If you'd like to listen to more from me, please subscribe. Many more game analysis from me coming, so keep on the lookout. This again is your host, Master John, signing off.